stop, just for a second. What was taken from you? The time, the relationship, the career break, your peace of mind. It isn't just being replaced. It's being wired back to you with interest. This isn't a consolation prize. It's full restitution. You didn't fall into a hole. You were being prepared for a delivery that couldn't be handled by the person you used to be. You had to grow into this moment. Before we're done, I'm giving you a 3-step protocol to activate this return today. Stay with me until the very end. The breakthrough waiting at the finish line will make the struggle at the starting line finally make sense. It's not just sadness. It's that heavy feeling that hits at 11 p.m. when the house goes quiet and you realize what you had. The job, the person, the plan, the security is just gone. No one took it by force. It just drifted away. It's not a lack of faith. It's waking up on a Tuesday morning, staring at the ceiling for 2 minutes before you can even move, and asking, why me? I worked hard. I prayed. I sacrificed. I did the right thing. So why am I standing in an empty room? It's not ingratitude. It's that silent sting when you see someone who didn't work half as hard as you did, harvesting the very thing you planted. You don't tell anyone because you don't want to sound bitter, but you feel it, and it hurts. It's not weakness. It's the physical weight in your chest every time you remember how life used to look. The version of your story that vanished without warning. It hits you during lunch. It hits you in traffic. It even hits you during happy moments, like a shadow that won't let you be fully present. But you're still standing. And that isn't nothing. It's the ultimate proof that what's inside of you is bigger than whatever was taken from you. If you feel this message is for you, hit the like button right now. Think of that like as your public testimony. The universe records what you confess out loud. I know what it was. I saw when you closed your hand and found it was empty. And I'm telling you, what left through the front door of your life is coming back through the door of promise. Here is what we're covering today. First, the spiritual truth. What was taken wasn't a loss. It was a relocation. Heaven doesn't allow something truly yours to be removed unless it's coming back bigger. That emptiness you feel? It's actually the construction site for something you didn't have room for before. Second, an actionable protocol. 3 steps to shift from mourning mode to receiving mode. Preparing for a return requires a different posture than waiting for a loss. Third, a declaration you'll carry in your heart when the world tries to tell you nothing has changed. Because something has already shifted, and you need to know it before you can see it. Don't click away. Don't break the connection before you receive what's reserved for the end. You might be going through this right now and calling it by the wrong name. Close your eyes for a moment. Look away from the screen for 2 seconds. Take a deep breath. Now listen, because what I'm about to tell you will rewrite everything you've been calling a defeat. Here are the real signs and what they actually mean. The first sign is the feeling that you've fallen behind. You look at where you were 2 years ago, where you should be now, and the gap makes no sense. You're moving, but the finish line seems to be moving faster. You called it a delay. It's actually recalibration. Your destination has been upgraded to a place your original path couldn't reach. You aren't falling behind. You're gaining altitude. The second sign is belief fatigue. It's not that you stopped believing. It's just that believing is exhausting now. You still want it, but the wanting feels heavy. You called it a weakening of faith. It's actually your faith being refined, moving from excitement to conviction that can carry the weight of what's coming. A flimsy faith can't carry a massive blessing. The third sign is silence where there used to be abundance, where there was movement in your career, your finances, your creative spark. There is now a strange quiet, like a chapter ended without announcing the next one. You called it abandonment. It's actually a contract swap. The divine is closing one cycle to open the next. Heaven never leaves a void by accident. The fourth sign is longing for what could have been. Not the past itself, but the future that past promised. You're mourning a closed door, not realizing that door was locked for your protection. You called it regret. It's actually early liberation. The path you wanted would have cost you your real destiny. That wasn't the road. It was the exit ramp. The fifth sign is the suspicion that you missed your window. That voice saying, "It's over. The opportunity is gone. Everyone else is ahead of me." You called it a missed chance. It's actually the wrong window closing, so the right one can open on the higher floor you're stepping onto. The wrong window on the right floor is still the wrong view. The sixth sign is the difficulty of feeling joy without guilt. You start to feel good and immediately think, "It won't last. I don't deserve this." Be careful. Like joy is a trap. You called it anxiety. It's actually the scarcity mindset breaking, and the break hurts before it sets you free. If one of these signs hit home, type freedom in the comments. That is your declaration that you are ready to reclaim what was taken. Now, I need to tell you two stories that meet exactly where you are standing today. Job didn't just lose a little. He lost everything. His kids, his wealth, his health, his reputation. He was the good guy who did everything right, yet everything went wrong. At his lowest, his friends showed up with explanations. They said he must have messed up. They said it was his fault. They told him to look for the sin in his life. But the story doesn't say Job sinned. It says Job was chosen because of his integrity. The loss wasn't a punishment. It was the lobby of a restitution that his normal life could never have contained. And when it all came back, it came back double. Not in the same old box, but in a bigger one. Because the man Job was before the trial didn't have the capacity for what Job received after. The restoration was bigger than the loss because the loss wasn't the end. It was the prologue. The second story isn't from a book. It's from the land. In farming, there's something called fallow ground. A farmer will stop planting in a specific field for an entire season. Not because the land is worthless, but because it needs to recover the nutrients used to produce. A field at rest is being prepared to yield more than it ever has before. From the outside, it looks dead. It looks empty. It looks like a waste. A neighbor might drive by and think the farmer gave up on that patch of dirt. But inside, the soil is rebuilding. What was taken by the last harvest is being replenished. Silently, invisibly. And when the next planting season hits, that field produces double. You aren't an abandoned field. You are fallow ground. And your season is turning. Which one do you feel more like? Job or the fallow field? Tell me in the comments which one describes your life right now. Let me stop for 1 full minute. No metaphors, no storytelling, just the truth. You made it this far. You survived the loss. You kept moving when the movement didn't make sense. You're still searching when it would have been easier to give up. The data shows that you aren't just waiting for a blessing. You are someone who refused to quit when the blessing was late. That is a rare quality. And heaven does not ignore faithful resilience. I saw every day you wanted to stop but didn't. I saw when you prayed without words because tears were the only language you had left. You aren't a loser. You are a receiver in waiting. And what's coming isn't what you lost. It's bigger because you are bigger than the person who lost it. Here is who you are in the middle of this. Your first identity is the seed keeper. You went through a season of loss without throwing away what remained. Your faith, your character, your heart. You kept the seed when no one would blame you for burning the field. While others changed who they were to survive the pain, you kept your core. This identity authorizes a harvest that isn't just for you. It's for the generations coming after you. Your second identity is the Audikamabidiostain, heir in transit. What was taken from you triggered a movement of inheritance. You are being moved from one level of life to another, The loss was just the end of the old lease. The transit is the part no one posts on Instagram. It's the between what was and what will be. You aren't lost. You're just in the middle of the trip. Your third identity is the expanded vessel. The loss created space, not a void. Space. There's a huge difference. A void is a purposeless lack. Space is a vacancy with a function. You are emptied of things that no longer fit who you are becoming. What is entering your life now wouldn't have fit in the old you. You were stretched to hold more. More love, more purpose, more provision. The expanded vessel doesn't get back what it lost. It gets what fits its new size. Which of these identities speaks to you most? Type it in the comments. Seed Keeper, Air in Transit, or Expanded Vessel. And make sure you're subscribed so you're positioned for the next word. Now I need to tell you about something found. Not invented, not developed. Found within ancient wisdom and years of research into why some people receive their return, while others wait indefinitely. There is a difference between those who reclaim their lives and those who stay stuck in the cycle. It isn't just more faith. It's a specific protocol, a spiritual alignment that breaks the blocks holding back your restitution, even when you've done everything right, even when you've prayed, even when you've forgiven. This protocol is called the Miracle Journal. 21 days to unlock withheld blessings. It works in 3 cycles. Cycle 1, the breakthrough. Identifying and tearing down the specific walls holding back what belongs to you. Not every prayer reaches the target. Some locks need a specific key. This cycle finds that key. Cycle 2, the clearing. Spiritually cleaning the space left behind by your loss. A cluttered room can't receive new furniture. This cycle prepares your vessel for the arrival. Cycle 3, the ownership. Declaring authority over what is already destined for you. This isn't asking. It's taking possession of what already has your name on it in the spiritual realm. What's yours doesn't need to be begged for. It needs to be claimed. And with the protocol, you get 2 bonuses that change everything when you hit a wall. First, the Andon Surgical Prayer Guide. 15 prayers for specific moments. Not generic bless me prayers. These are for when doubt hits at 3 a.m., when comparison steals your joy, when you need to pray but have no words. Second, the Maimudesinan Psalms Manual. 10 Psalms with full historical context and guided meditations. You'll understand what David was going through and how it mirrors exactly what you're feeling now. It's not a study. It's an identification. The cost for all of this? Less than a latte and a bagel at the coffee shop. Less than a burger at the drive-thru. A fraction of 1 hour of your time for a return that can't be calculated. But look at what happens when this is applied. Sarah, 47, had been out of work for 8 months. She felt exactly like sign number 1, left behind. In the 3rd week of the protocol, she got a call from a company she hadn't even applied to. She didn't find them. They found her. Luke, 34. A relationship ended after 6 years. He was stuck in sign number 4, mourning a future that vanished. During the cycle 2, clearing, he said, he physically felt the weight lift. 3 months later, the connection he found makes his past look like a shadow. Mrs. Thompson, 58, raised her kids alone, lost her health to a job she hated, and started the journal without much hope. She said the Psalms Manual was the breakthrough. I never understood what David was saying. Now I am what David was saying. If you're thinking, I'll think about it, or I'm not sure, that thought has a spiritual name. It's called ownership resistance. It's the same mechanism that made you wait longer than you had to. Hesitating to act on a promise is the exact block the 3-cycle protocol was built to break. There's a 7-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked, and you keep the bonuses even if you ask for a refund, because what you'll receive in the first 7 days is already worth it. The link is in the first pinned comment. Not tomorrow. not after your chores. Right now, while the feeling in your heart is still alive. And now, as promised, the protocol for right now. This is called the vessel flip. You cannot receive while you're still standing in the posture of someone who lost. A loss posture attracts more loss. A receiving posture builds the platform for the return. Here are the 3 steps. Step 1. Name the loss without judgment. Not as a complaint, but as an inventory. Write it down or say it out loud. What was taken from me was name it. Acknowledge the space is empty. Naming it is the first act of ownership. You can't reclaim what you can't name. Step 2. Declare the space as prepared, not empty. After naming it, say, this space isn't a void. This space is a preparation. I am ready to receive more than what left. This breaks the neurological and spiritual cycle of endless mourning. Step 3. Open your hands physically. For 60 seconds, keep your hands open and palms up. Be silent. Don't ask. Don't list. Just receive. The sign of confirmation isn't excitement. It's a quietness. A different quiet than the one you felt in the loss. Lighter. Like something tight finally let go. If you felt that quiet, the posture is set. But you need to know what's coming for you after this video. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be thrown at you. Not maybe. Definitely. The first is the voice of the past. It'll sound like realism. It'll remind you of every time you believed and nothing happened. It'll use your own memory against you. The weapon against this declare, my history describes where I was. It does not describe where I am going. The second is external evidence. It'll try to show you that nothing has changed. The bank account is the same. The phone is still silent. It'll try to convince you today had no effect. The weapon. The spiritual shifts before the physical. I see what is unseen. The third is the urgency of fear. It'll try to make you settle, take a job you hate, go back to a toxic person, or lower your expectations so you don't get hurt. The weapon? I do not accept scraps of what is rightfully mine. I wait for the full restitution. The biggest enemy isn't outside. It's the voice inside that thinks you only deserve a little bit back. That voice is a poverty spirit, and it was exposed today. Type protected in the comments. The decree is sealed. Before we go, I need you to do one thing. Sit down. If you're moving, stop for 90 seconds. Put your right hand over your heart. Now, let out everything you were holding on to during this video. The bitterness of being left behind. The exhaustion of believing alone. The weight of losing and having to keep a smile on for the world. Let it out. It doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to leave. I saw that night at 11 p.m. when the house was quiet and you were staring at the spot where your dream used to be. I was there. I saw the tears you choked back so you wouldn't scare the people counting on you. I saw that Tuesday morning when you looked at the ceiling and couldn't find a reason to get up, and you got up anyway. None of that was invisible to me, and I'm telling you now, what was taken from you was recorded. The return already has a date. Prepare yourself, not to wait longer but to receive. What's coming doesn't fit in the old space, which is why the space had to be made larger. The mind that lived in doubt is going to receive a certainty that doesn't need to be defended. The relationships that were emptied will be filled with substance. The time that felt wasted will be redeemed with a speed you haven't calculated yet. What's yours already has your name on it, and what was taken wasn't destroyed. It was stored until you were strong enough to carry it. You are ready. I've got you. You are covered. What is yours is sealed. Now get up. Amen. Type it as done in the comments, because what was declared here is locked in. And if you know someone who is in the middle of a loss, someone who is in their fallow season and calling it abandonment, send this to them now with a simple message. This is for you. They need to hear what you just heard. And if they want to go deeper, the link is in the first comment, waiting for them, just like it waited for you. It is done. You are not the same person you were when this started.